YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all keeping safe and well. You are?
Yes.
Good, that's what I want to hear. Today we're going to be filming the Snapshot episode 8, but rather than sitting and having you guys sit there watching clips and different things that we're going to be doing, we're going to have a little bit more of an informal discussion today. You guys obviously know about the feature class guides that we do. You guys know about some of my class builds and some of my other things that I talk about. But today we're going to have an overall look at classes, what it is that I think in my head when it comes to building a new class and a new weapon, and what is it that I should be prioritizing in this game to make a gun effective. Now, things that you want to be looking at, especially in Modern Warfare, to prioritize are things including time to kill. So time to kill in this game, in this Modern Warfare, is especially low compared to previous games. And what I mean by that is you generally have less health, which means that people can kill you a lot faster, especially if you play hardcore. But even in core, people kill you a lot faster than what they could back in the days of like BO4 or even older school, you know, Modern Warfare games. So in this game, time to kill is very important, and that then resonates into having a gun that's quick, snappy, and can pick people off quickly. You don't want to be having a gun that's a hit marker machine, because that's just going to end up getting you killed in games. So what we're going to be talking about today is the reason that I build the guns the way that I do, and what it is behind the choices of what I'm building. So let's get into a screen where you guys can see what is going on with my class builds. What we can do is we can speak through each one, and we can explain to you guys why it is that I'm running them. I've also got some clips that I've got that I'll be running off the side like we do in the feature class guides video, which are going to show you guys, you know, what it looks like in game and how all the different guns generally play and why time to kill is so important. All right, so obviously with a lot of these classes are either SMGs or fast and aggressive ARs, because that's the way that I play. I'm an aggressive player, and I'm sure that a lot of people that are either watching this or have started watching my YouTube videos probably want to learn to get into more of an aggressive route. You know, who doesn't want to be picking up a lot of kills every game? Who doesn't want to be winning their games? And these gun classes are built towards that. All right, so we're going to give a brief description of every gun class that we've got here, just a very brief one, and we're also going to explain why I run the perks that I do, and including the lethals and tacticals as well, because they're really important to know. All right, so with the Uzi, which is my first class build, obviously the FFS, the FWS Carbine Pro, and the new ammunition mags are really important for this gun, because these are two brand new things that got unlocked for the gun to give it a buff a couple of months ago. And with these, obviously you get like a longer and better range barrel that gives you all the stats that you need. As well as that, you get the 32 round mags, which also give you extra damage and range as well. Things like the tac laser are really important right now. So if you guys haven't already seen it, from the latest season 4 patch notes, which you guys can see right here, no stock got nerfed. All right, so it's now less effective at long range, and does, I believe, gives extra recoil as well. So, you know, you get an extra movement speed and ADS speed, but I have actually noticed as of recently that no stock is definitely not making my guns as good. So what I've been doing is I've been swapping out no stock for tac laser and giving it a try. Okay, so I've done it with this gun, I've done it with the Uzi, I've also ran it with the MP7, I'm now using tac laser on here as well. And I think there's potentially a few other guns that I don't have like built right. I think the M4, I've also done it with the M4 as well. Okay, so the tac laser, I would say, is probably one of the prime perks right now, unless you want to build a gun that's built for hip fire, and then 5MW might be better. But tac laser gives you some amazing stats, all for what, like exposes your position when active, but by the time they've seen your laser, on the most part, you've killed people anyway. All right, for ADS, aim and stability, and aim and walking steadiness with just, you know, a visible laser, it's attachment that can't be ignored right now. Okay, tac laser is absolutely fantastic. As well as that, stipple grip take remains the same. It's still really good. I use it on most classes. Aim down sight and extra sprint to fire speed as well. So when you're running around, you can get really quick, snappy shots at enemies. Even if they shoot at you first, you've gotten a chance to react and outplay and outshoot people as well. So let's go with something that's a bit newer, speaking to you guys about some of my season 4 builds, especially the post-patch stuff. With the Odin, for example, once again, we're running that tac laser that's giving me, on a gun like this, aim and stability, which is really, really important. All right, obviously you've got the barrel, which is giving extra ADS and movement speed as well. And for a lot of guns, I'm still using monolithic suppressor. You know, you could arguably say that you can use the Colossus for the Odin, which obviously gives it this massive barrel, which in my opinion isn't necessarily needed too much if you're an aggressive player. But maybe if you play a little bit more range or play longer maps, Colossus might be better. But in my opinion, the monolithic is still great on guns where you don't want to lose too many stats in terms of being aggressive, but you still want to keep some sort of damage range on the gun and add a silence to it. Monolithic is fantastic. If if you want to add a little bit of extra range to your gun and also silence the gun so it's harder to work out where you're coming from, monolithic suppressor is absolutely fantastic and still definitely a perk to be looking out for. Okay, usually with any one of my guns, unless it's very necessary, so like guns including the FAL, etc., I try and avoid using any sights. And why do I say that? Well, in a game like Modern Warfare where you can only take a maximum of 5 attachments, using a sight removes a potential buff. Right, so I could be swapping out the GI mini reflex, right, and running no stop, which gives me extra, you know, movement speed and aim down sight. But if I've got an awful sight to work with in the first place, I'm not going to get any kills, right? So apart from guns like the FAL, and I think there's a potential few others as well, I don't use sights on anything because what you're actually doing is removing the potential of buffing the gun in different ways. Only use the optic if you really, really need it, okay? I've also recently built a new AK class, and in my mind, what I wanted from this is a gun that can be strong at hip fire range, can be effective at medium to short range, and still beam at long range as well. I kind of wanted an all-rounder, and I've kind of fell in love with this AK class, right? I only used it yesterday towards the end of the stream, so I don't unfortunately have any clips for it right now, but keep an eye out because this gun is going to get grinded all the way to Obsidian starting from tomorrow. I fell in love with it. There's going to be a class guard on it, and this thing absolutely melts, all right? So when I'm looking for barrels, with the way that I play, I usually go for the second barrel up. What I mean by that is I don't want to go with the smallest barrel, which is giving me ADS and movement speed, because what I'm doing is I'm completely nullifying any range that the gun could have. Once again, you could run monolithic on it if you want to, but on a gun like this, I don't think it's going to be too necessary. So what I do is I take a step up from the compact and I go with the Spetsnaz Elite, which gives me the damage range and bullet velocity that I need. The RPK and the Romanian are both 23-inch barrels, and I think they're both a little bit overkill if you ask me. I don't think you need that much range unless you're playing really, really long range maps. Once again, the TAT laser makes a feature in here as well. Aiming down sight speed, aim stability, and aiming walking steadiness. You can't say no to that, even for just a little bit of position, you know, exposure with the laser. All right. On the stock, I'm running the skeleton stock rather than no stock. With the nerf of no stock, the skeleton stock pretty much gives you the same stats, but rather than giving you movement speed, it gives you aim walking down movement speed. So when you're aiming at somebody and you're moving left to right, so you're strafing, it gives you that benefit of doing that. Skeleton stock is a great attachment for this gun and kind of makes it look like the AK-74U to any old school COD players that are watching this video. Obviously, the 30-round mags are really important for this gun because of extra fire rate and recoil control, and then I'll keep the Merc foregrip on, which really allows for good hip fire actually and recoil control as well. For guns like this and the Uzi, always keep an eye out for special ammunition buffs. All right, there are certain guns in the game which do allow you to have good ammunition buffs. Another one is the Bison. I don't have a Bison class on me right now, but the Bison has like an 84-round mag. So make sure that when you're looking through, if they have anything available apart from generally like the 40, 50, 60-round mags, which are also still really good, some guns do have their own special mags, and usually they make the gun really, really good. So definitely have a check out for that. Have a look at that as well. In terms of pistols, I still haven't found anything better than the burst mod Renetti. This gun is a beast. 2-3 shot kill, really good even after it's nerfed. Don't use it with a Kimbo, just have it singular. The MK3 burst mod, lightweight trigger, 27-round mags, XRK speed grip, TAT laser. It is everything that you need it to be. My current perk setup right now is quick fix, point man, and shrapnel. Between all of this, you've got a stim on kill. You've got easier ways of getting your kill streaks based on score, so you can play objective, and that will help as well. And then you've got shrapnel to run double C4 or double grenade or whatever it is that you want to use to start off, which helps pesky EOD players or people that may be camping objective with trophies and stuff. Okay, so generally what it is that I'm looking out for whenever I'm building a gun is the amazing stat of aim down sight speed. All right, you want at least 2 to 3 things that give you aim down sight speed. TAT laser is always a great one, and again, stippled grip tape is always a good one. You can still use no stock if you want to on different guns. You can try it out. However, I've currently started to move away from it a little bit and replacing all my no stocks with TAT lasers, and I found a lot of success doing that right now. Okay, once again, keep an eye out for all the different mags and different ideas that come with different guns as well. All right, so for me, it's all about building aggressive. And people ask me, what is it that you look for in a gun when it is that you're building it as well? All right, so I want ADS. I want to be able to still have something that allows me to kill at a little bit of range. And I also want to be able to be effective at hip fire and close range. So with the way that I'm playing, I'm always looking to get in the enemy's faces. So I need something that can react, be snappy, and be quick to do so, okay? On guns like the MP5 that are pretty much juggernauts and guns that allow me to potentially even carry an entire game, what I do is if you go onto your perks and press R, or whatever it is that says activate specialist right here for you, what it does, it turns your specialist on. And what that does, it replaces your kill streaks and replaces it with specialist perks. So after 2 kills / 2, whatever the equivalent of 2 score is, same with 4, same with 6, and then 7, you get all these extra perks. And not only am I working with quick fix point man shrapnel, I've then got tune up, double time, and EOD to work with on my classes. You know, so I'm getting extra, you know, sprint refresh rates. I'm getting my tune ups. I'm getting the field upgrades faster. EOD, so I'm not dying as easy. And then I get the specialist bonus, which pretty much gives me all the perks in the game to run with. All right, so you can see it here when I run down my classes. I run it with the MP5. I believe that might be, oh, it's not the only one. And then with the Scar as well. The Scar definitely needs this, by the way. So I'm going to be doing a Scar build very soon to explain to you guys how it is that I run this. And Scavenger is very important. Now, unfortunately, with a Scar, they only allow you to get 30 round mags as the very maximum. Even though the gun has a very, very quick time to kill, 30 round mags are not a lot, especially for an assault rifle, and they do run out really quickly. So what I do is run Scavenger on the 2 kills. So by the time I have 2 kills or 2 kills worth of score, I've got Scavenger on the gun, and I can just regain my ammo from running over dead bodies. All right, so it keeps me going, and then I get my tune up, then I get my EOD. I just take out double time and hopefully get that from my specialist bonus. Anyway, that's what makes this class so good. Scavenger is definitely the key component for running the Scar. Right, guys. So now looking at the lethal part of the class build, you can see here you've got all your different options. Now you can either go with, you know, frag grenades. A lot of people like to use Semtex. Still, some people down to use proximity mines, but for me, C4, especially when using shrapnel, is really, really important. C4s are so good right now. I would say they've been, let's say, ghost nerfed over the last couple of patches. What I mean by that is, even though Infinity Ward don't necessarily say that they've been nerfed, they don't feel as strong right now, but they're still absolutely solid. Running it with shrapnel, with the double C4, quick tap to detonate, makes them so useful to throw over walls, into windows, into objectives, where you don't even have to get into the line of sight to kill people. C4s are amazing. I want to hate them, but I just can't. I have to just appreciate how good they are, and do definitely take my picking for the lethal grenades in the game. In regards to tacticals, I use a mix depending on what it is right now. I don't really use stim too much as of right now because of quick fix. I like to run smokes a lot because I play a lot of objective work. For guns like the Odin, the FAL, and the Scar, I could potentially run the flashes and the stuns to help me secure kills of big groups and just mow them down when it comes to medium or long range fights. Or I've even seen a couple of people using SNAPShot grenades recently. Don't use a gas grenade, please. Just do not use gas grenades, just please don't use them. But yeah, I would say usually between the smoke, the stun, the flash, or if you want to be like super aggressive and quick fix may not be just enough for you, then stim would also be a great option. And that's pretty much it, guys. I didn't want it to be too much of a long-winded video today. I just wanted to give you guys kind of like an idea of what it is and what I'm looking for when I'm building different guns. Commando foregrip is always really good for when you're playing like medium to long range guns and you're always in, you know, heavy fire and you need the gun to stay stable. Guns like the M4 do very, very well with the Commando. You can use it with the FAL, you can run it with the Odin, whatever it is that you find beneficial at the medium to longer range slightly style guns. And then apart from that, I like to run Merc foregrips on different guns as well to help with, you know, hip fire and obviously closer range style fights as well. But I hope this has helped to let you guys know what the key things are to look for. I would say, to put it into summary, you want TAC laser where possible. Have a look at different ammunition rounds where possible to see if anything's got anything unique. Have a look at a barrel that isn't necessarily, you know, the lowest, but maybe like the second one up. Be careful how extended you make your barrel, because the bigger the barrel, the slower the ADS on the gun will be. So you don't want to shaft yourself over that. Find like a nice, you know, medium point that will work for you, that will make the gun really effective, but also still work slightly at long range as well. And then consider things like monolithic suppressor. Consider things like Merc foregrip, Commando foregrip if they work out for you. TAC laser is very much a necessary right now. If you don't want to run no stock, you have other options like skeleton stock, rear grip tape for the stipple grip tape. Don't really run anything in the perk right now. You can maybe run sleight of hand. However, I feel like there's a lot better things than sleight of hand right now. Maybe even run burst on some guns like the FAL and the FAMAS if you want to, but that's completely up to you. And only use a red dot sight if you really need to. Remember, putting a red dot sight or on a scope on any gun is going to take away any extra stats that you could be getting on something else. Okay, so let me bring it back to the face cam to wrap this up. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I wanted today's snapshot not to be so much based around the clips, but more on my thought process and what it is, what I think about when I'm building guns and the stats that I'm using to build the guns as well. This is kind of like, I'd say, my secret recipe to making my guns aggressive, still effective at range, and also do very, very well on multiplayer in a game that's all based around low time to kill. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Pushing towards 5K on that YouTube right now. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate any positive, constructive comments in the comments. Would really mean a lot to me. Feel free to share the video if you've really enjoyed it that much, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.